subvert other countries.
Well, I wouldn't dispute you there, but like that doesn't mean it's good. So, the economic warfare wasn't beneficial. Just
I
distanced
do.
ourselves from our allies. Didn't actually yield more domestic manufacturing in our country, and also increased inflation. Did you know that there was a
No,
Federal
not
Reserve
yet.
report that
It
just
could
came out
have.
that said that we would be below pre-pandemic levels of inflation if Donald Trump never imposed the tariffs?
The Federal Reserve is the entire cause of inflation, so I don't really care what they have to say. I
I
think
don't think
that
that
we
they're
would
the entire
have
cause of inflation. I think
kept
that's
reducing
dishonest.
inflation if we hadn't. And dude, the bankers create money out of nothing. That is what inflation is. There could be no inflation of the money supply if we don't inflate the money supply. That's entirely from
Well,
the
you're
Federal
assuming that
Reserve.
this is inflation of money supply and not that there were supply chain issues. And also, even so, given that there was a money supply increase, that's not an
Sure,
issue. It
sure.
actually, it's good to be able to have the ability to change the supply of money, because if you have differences in the level of people or productive capacity of an economy, and your money supply does not reflect that, you're going to have less valuable economic exchange. There's going to be less economic exchange when there could have been. So you're actually not meeting the whole productive capacity of your economy by having that level of a money supply. So increasing money supply does allow for you to increase or utilize the full productive capacity of an economy, in which otherwise you would not be able to do so if you didn't have the ability to change your money supply.
Yeah, I can agree with what you said, but that doesn't change the fact that like tariffs were a supply side uh, force forcing economic situation where
How well did that go?
because demand is because demand is essentially changed, you're increasing the price of things, then the I don't know. It's supply and demand side economics. It's not true inflation. It would find a balancing act. Some things would go up, some things would go down.
You say it's not
Inflation
true
is
inflation.
as
That
a
makes no
result of
sense.
the monetary supply increasing.
Wait, so the inflation happened through the tariffs being in place. Okay. That was because of the tariffs. We would be at
Yeah,
pre-pandemic levels of
there would be
inflation
a
if not.
balancing point.
What does that mean?
It's a cost increase rather than a true inflation. Inflation is pretty much perpetual. Inflation just comes from increasing the money supply.
No, 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 I don't think that. I think it causes inflation. Inflation is just the percentage of price increase.
Supply and demand side,
I don't think it's only a result of money
yeah,
supply
no,
increase. I think that's a horrible way to look at inflation. I think that's reduces your level of analytical ability if you just focus in on it being predicated off of money supply increases. There can be inflation due to things that are not based upon a money supply increase. Like for example, there could be technological loss, and
that's fine.
technological loss could yield inflation.
I'm not too sold on trying to argue the semantics of this. Just a slight difference of opinion. Very, very slight. I'm not
Yeah, but I think it was
fully on
relevant
board.
to at least clarify. But like you understand that you were trying to claim that you're not going to accept a determination from the Federal Reserve because you think that the Federal Reserve is the arbiter of all inflation, which, by the way, is not true.
Federal Reserve was basically the reason that we got off of the gold standard. It's
Good.
what gave the bankers. Dude, I think the bankers are the true root of all of the everything going on. The Epstein files. His bro is working for the Rothschilds, amongst others, but it's definitely the bankers that are the cause of our issues.
So you think the Rothschilds control the Federal Reserve?
Trump is in the Epstein class.
You think the Rothschilds control the Federal
They
Reserve, and then also you think
were
Trump's a
one of
part of the Epstein class, yet you still want to support him for president?
the Rothschilds. I don't want to. I wouldn't be upset if he got taken out at this point.
But you'd support him over Harris.
But I don't think
What's
that
so
we're
bad
gonna
about
get anybody
Harris?
better in.
Is
Yeah,
Harris a part of the Epstein class?
she was doing this. Yeah,
How so?
uh, look at she was working alongside Alejandro Mayorkas and Xavier Becerra to traffic hundreds of thousands of kids across the border.
No evidence of
And you
that.
don't think she was
No
partaking
evidence of that
in
at
any
all.
of
You
the
said they were
the
trafficking. You said she
super strong
worked with
evidence of that?
Mayorkas to traffic children. You have no
Yeah,
evidence of
they
that. You're whipping that
changed
right out of
the
your
Department of
ass.
Homeland Security. Yeah, no, there's tons of evidence of that, my dude.
No, there's not.
The
What's your
Department of
source?
Homeland Security expedited the ability to push people across the border.
How
Oh, I
so? By
pulled up
doing
my
what?
notes. I wasn't really prepared for a debate.
By
They
what did they
made
do?
it expedited. Like
By doing what?
they took away. Okay, I got you here. They took away the DNA checks. So when a kid came across the border, you didn't have to prove that they were the child of the person that
It's a guardian of a child,
it's incredibly
right?
necessary
It's not. Let
to
me
come
explain.
across with your parent.
No, 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 it's
What do you
not. It's
think
not
starts to
because
happen if you take that away and
I
people?
can explain.
No, no, it is because they just pushed kids across the border and then they sent them off to all sorts of places. They sent like 700 kids to one address and it was adjacent
I
to
need a
like
source
part
for
of the
that.
same building as a strip
I need a
club.
source for that.
Uh, the the lady that gave the congressional testimony, Amy, I think
If
was
you'd like to find
her last name.
anything to indicate that, I'd love to see.
The exploitation crisis hearing. Let's
Also,
see.
is there a possibility you could speak up?
I
And then
practically begged you
also,
to
again,
listen to that
them not
before
doing
the
the DNA test
yeah
is not evidence of child
the
trafficking.
election.
Because again, the way that you identify whether or not someone is going to
Sure,
be,
but it
right,
expedited
can
the
you please just
process.
listen? Thank you. So the way that you identify that someone is a guardian of a child is through legal paperwork. Okay? Because inevitably speaking, if they have a DNA relation, that doesn't mean that they are the guardian of the child. There can be plenty of scenarios where the person that's DNA related to them isn't going to be their guardian, and in fact, that could be a scenario that could be harmful for them if you harm it. So it's an incredibly costly and ineffective and invasive mechanism to identify guardianship. That's why we're not using it. So us not using it is not evidence of there being child
Fair.
trafficking. That is a dishonest remark on yourself, by yourself, right? And to say that that's trafficking is insane.
It enabled it. It
No, it
expedited it.
doesn't. If you'd like to provide any source
Yeah,
for
it
that,
did.
that
That's why
like
we lost
trafficking is more likely to
300,000 missing
happen
children.
because of getting rid of DNA testing, or then I'd love to
The
see that and I'd be
congressional
willing to
justice.
take that into consideration. But that's not
Watch
the evidence
the
you provided.
exploitation crisis.
What's that?
The exploitation crisis. It's a congressional testimony. It was like 2 hours. It spelled all of the evidence out in clear, unadulterated detail.
Uh, cr- Exploitation crisis from what?
It's on YouTube. It's a
I gotta
congressional
watch a
testimony.
YouTube video?
There's like three different witnesses they
You're
brought in.
trolling, dude.
I mean, you don't have to, but you should.
You're trolling. It's a
No,
YouTube video?
obviously not while you're talking to me.
Wait, no, but like, you
It's
just
a
cited me a
congressional
YouTube video?
hearing
You're
that's on
trolling, dude.
YouTube.
Do you have any articles that
It's a
justify what you're saying?
congressional hearing, Parker.
Oh, okay. If it's a, well, then you
Why
can just
can't
tell me the
you
congressional
watch a
hearing.
congressional
There's a
hearing?
C-SPAN one if it's a congressional hearing.
It's called the exploitation crisis.
Yeah, if I just look up exploitation
That's
crisis,
the way I've always found it.
yeah, that's not going to provide me the information that you're referencing. Okay? I need it to be a little bit more specific so I can look
Watch
up
the
the
video
exact
at some
video
point.
that you're referencing or anything in specific. Because if I just look up exploitation crisis, a million different things come up.
Yeah, it's. I would send you the link, but I'm sure that you're not gonna watch it either.
No, I don't
I
need a
expect
link. I
you to
need
watch
like the
this video,
title of an article
like
or the
practically
title of the
right now.
video or like the account.
If I leave TikTok, then my account's gonna.
I won't be able to
I
hear
won't be
you,
able
but
to
you can
connect it
remember
to
it
the
and then come
title.
back into the app and tell me.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay. Give them a second to find this information, everybody. We'll bring more people up here. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Harley, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you very much on PayPal. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Danielle, thank you so much for the $2. The caller is super quiet on YouTube. I don't know what I can do for that because I have them on max volume. It's just they need to speak up is really the issue. They just left anyway, so let's go on to the next person. Alrighty, only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. You what's up, how old are
When are
you?
you gonna do battles with Dean?
Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria. List in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on to the next individual. Press play. Thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. And Doris, thank you for the 12 euros. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tequila Mockingbird, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Yeah, I feel like it would definitely would. That would be really funny, actually. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates.
Guys, follow the rules. I don't want to have to ban anyone. I don't.
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Dude, just give us a quick second, everybody. Let's go on to the next individual real quick. Tina, thank you for the unsend. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's going on, man? Dude, I've been like genuinely, I've tried to join your live like so many times, but like you always have like 8,000 viewers and it's always on some bullshit and you like 80 people requesting, so I kind of just give up.
Okay. Do
But
you support Trump?
what you doing, man? Dude, I supported Trump. I do support Trump. Well, not really. Okay, so it's kind of weird. Fuck you, Parker. You look like a trans testicle. Anyways, though,
Okay.
I used
Can you
to.
just
I used
answer
to
the
support.
question? If the election were held
for
today,
real, though,
Harris
Parker,
versus
you
Trump.
kind of like Loki. All right, well, listen.
If the election were held today, Harris versus
Lock
Trump,
it
who would
in.
you rather vote for?
If it was what?
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
I would vote for Trump.
Okay. All right. So why do you
Yeah.
dislike me?
Why do I dislike you? Because, see, Parker, you kind of remind me of like somebody that's just lame as fuck, right? And so when I say that, I don't mean to be rude, okay? So what I'm saying,
So you hate me
basically,
because I seem lame?
no, Parker, lock it in. You got to see where I'm coming from, right?
I don't. So
'Cause
just try it. Well, you already got a harassment and bullying violation.
no,
So you just speed run getting kicked by TikTok. So you didn't even get into it. Good job, dude. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I want to be inside you.
Let's go to the next individual. I think this person's back, everybody. Welcome back, Fred.
Hey, you can look up 300,000 missing children, and you'll find a .gov website.
That's literally just like Republicans in Congress making this claim. There's no actual evidence to back that up. That's not actually like people specifically who are missing. That's just a missing paperwork.
No, the ORR, the Office of Refugee Resettlement, has tracked these children to MS-13 gang members. It's tracked them to strip clubs.
And what was the source?
To empty fields in Michigan.
And what's the source?
The exploitation crisis, the congressional hearing.
Okay.
And they have all of their sources in there.
The
Excuse me,
exploitation crisis, congressional hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says big tech and the online child exploitation crisis. Is that what that's what you're saying? Or what is it? Because that's what comes up when you first look it up.
300,000 missing children to get the .gov. So
What's up?
again, I would probably have to send you the YouTube link. I think that it only has like 11,000 views, and it was posted like 2.5 years ago.
So by the way, like the only source of your information is a random YouTube video with 11,000 views. You're fucking trolling, dude.
A congressional hearing, Parker.
Yeah, you're saying the
These people
congressional
sat
hearing,
down
so
in
then you should be able to
Congress with
cite
Ron
something.
Paul.
Then you should be able to cite something that does not just include a fucking 11,000 view video. Come on.
That is the citation, dude. And 300,000 missing children. You can see the .gov website. The ORR was.
The .gov. What's the title of the .gov
I
website?
think Becerra is running.
Hey, dude. I'm sorry. What is the title of the .gov website?
GRO Grothman.house.gov.
Dude, I'm not asking you what the URL is. I'm asking you what is the title of the page, the large text at the top of the screen. Jesus Christ, dude.
300,000 missing migrant children.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. 300K missing Children, the exploitation crisis. What's the other thing you said?
Just look up 300,000 missing migrant children.
Yeah, no, I looked that up and nothing comes up, dude. What's the person that this is from?
If I leave again, then we're gonna.
I just need to know, and dude, I can't find the information that you're referencing. It's literally not on the internet. It's either not on the internet or you're incapable of telling me how to find it.
It is on the internet.
So then why can't you tell me how to find it? Are you really this, like, unable to explain it? Like, I'm genuinely trying to find the information you're looking at. I looked up exactly what you told me to, and literally nothing of what you're saying comes up.
Iran war.
What's up?
I want to know your take on the Iran.
I'm not
war.
pivoting right now. Can you tell me where your information is? Like, why can't you just tell me the title? Tell me the person who wrote it. Like, why can't you tell me this information? You know, every other person I've had on my live stream doesn't have this issue.
Do you want to? Are you willing to wait for me again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I already had to wait this long. You're supposed to find this
I'll
already.
be right back.
Okay. Like, what did you leave for the first time? Like, I genuinely don't understand. What does he mumble? I have no clue. I have literally no clue. I have it on 100% audio on on my Streamlabs. So like, I don't even know if it's possible I can turn them up.
Yeah, my internet's whack.
Okay.
I told you exactly how to find it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm kicking you.
On the top website.
I'm kicking you. Fairy Dust, thank you for the galaxy. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Either you're genuinely too stupid to have a conversation with, or you are trolling. Like, I don't choose to believe anything else. Like, that is absurd, dude. What are you fucking talking about, dude?
I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker.
What are you talking about? You can't tell me how to find the page. It's not difficult. Like, it's really not. Yo, how old are you? How old are you? Let's go to the next person. Yoli, thank you so much for the money gun. Thank you, thank you. Let's go on this next person. Do you give it a quick second? Yo, how old are you?
I love Daddy Trump.
Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We were just looking for some debates. Yo, how old are you?
I'm 79. How are you?
Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Almost impossible to hear. I'm sorry. I literally don't know what I could do to increase the volume on YouTube. Is that also the issue that other people have on YouTube? They said time of callers past several weeks, almost impossible to hear. Really struggling to follow conversation. Is that also true for other people on YouTube? Because, yeah. I don't know what I could do to increase the audio. Can't hear callers. Like, I literally have my desktop audio on 100%. Like, is there anything I can do to increase audio for people? I guess I can just turn my audio all the way up. I guess I'll be blasting my ears. You know,
I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker.
Is that better? Yo, what's up, how old are you? Okay, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
49.
Do you support Trump?
I do.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for? You just left the live. I can't hear you. You got to come back in to the app. Cody, by the way, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Astrid, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $4. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that you got a great grade. Thank you so much. That's great to hear. As well as Ali, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. That person didn't stay in, so let's get this next person up here.
I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker.
Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yeah, Astrid, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody.
Parker, you a dummy.
Okay, we're getting a bunch of fetuses right now. Let's go into the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen.
I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker. I love you, Parker.
Okay, we're getting infinite fetuses now. Infinite fetuses. Criteria is not listed. I apologize. Let's go into the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates. Let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you're 18 plus and you're a Trump supporter. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I want to be inside you.
Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Alright, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
What's your birth year?
2007.
In what month?
July.
Okay. And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Probably Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Just because, I heard that there's this rumor that liberals like to pick their noses.
Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
47.
Do you support Trump?
Yep.
The election
Would
were held
vote
today.
for him again, too, yes.
Okay, if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Yeah, vote for Trump again.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Did you literally just say that DNA testing of people coming into our country is intrusive?
Yeah.
People intruding into our country, being DNA tested is intrusive to you.
Yes.
Do you fundamentally believe you care for this country?
Yes.
When you screwed the unfuck America by tossing Z under the bus, how did that help America?
I have no obligation to maintain relationships with anyone because I didn't want to engage. Because I didn't want to
microaggressive.
because I didn't want to engage with a person, and in terms of like a movement doesn't mean anything. Okay, I don't know why you'd even care to bring that up. Can you tell me why you support Trump without trying to pivot onto something that is utterly irrelevant to a conversation?
You threw that leader of that movement under the bus.
That was not a helpful relationship for a movement. So would you like to now, instead of crashing out about this, would you like to tell me why you support Trump? If you're unwilling to do that.
Yes, because of people like you. Literally, Trump got elected to avoid people like you on the left.
Okay.
You are basically what the televangelists were the whole church going on the TV. That movement, I think, is what killed religion in this country. Now, because of you are now the new televangelist. You're a cheap shill. You're profiting off division. You're a literal piece of shit.
Okay, so you think
and you have no further to look than what you did to that one movement. Z made that movement. You fucked it to capitulate to microaggressions.
No, because I disagree with her behavior. I think it was bad, and I think that she's an unprofessional organizer. Okay, all of those things are completely separate arguments that are irrelevant.
You and Dean did it to profit. Dean did it to profit.
All of this has absolutely nothing to do with the stream. I built up my entire movement. Me and Dean built up.
Look how big you two
Dean and I built up the movement. Had nothing to do with her, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's why she has no movement right now, and we still do, and we still have viewership. So I don't know why you're sitting up here complaining about that. We still have a movement. You're on a live stream right now. I just started up the stream, and there's thousands of people in the stream. You're listening in front of them right now. Okay? We have a movement. We're doing things right now. So instead of actually just sitting up here and whining on the stream, can you give me an actual meaningful response to the point that Donald Trump himself has literally canceled Marjorie Taylor Greene, called her a traitor, Marjorie Traitor Greene, because she wanted the release of the Epstein files? That's actual cancel culture. Me saying I don't want to work with someone in terms of a movement because I think that they're unprofessional, right, is not the end of the world. That's not cancel culture, okay? That's me saying I don't want to run a movement with someone, okay? I don't know why you're complaining and why you're crashing out about this. You genuinely, at the end of the day, don't give a flying fuck.
I want you exposed, Parker. I want you to be exposed for what you are, for being the grifters that you are, for being the little piece of... I just explained it. How you're willing to throw people...
That's not a grifter.
You are willing to fuck your movements as long as you profit off...
This doesn't fuck any movement. Like, you genuinely understand that we still have a movement, right? This didn't destroy anything.
How much has that movement made since you did what you did to Z?
I don't know. I don't involve myself.
Dude, again, when it comes down to
and you're acting like a toddler throwing a tantrum on my stream. Like, genuinely.
Push comes to shove.
Hey dude, chill out. These things are not that serious. All you've done on my stream so far is complain like a little baby and throw a tantrum like a toddler. Can you actually just give me a reason why you support Trump instead of just saying, "Oh my God, the liberals, they didn't run a fucking movement with someone they disagreed with, and they didn't want to continue a movement with someone."
Do you think Trump would have got elected if not for this radical left, this progressive left?
I think that he would have got elected because of people like you being misinformed to support someone regardless, and actually not even giving a shit about the actual facts of why you support them, and instead just getting angry at people on the internet who are just liberal for no reason. You're literally mad at me for no reason. Stop complaining. Give me an actual reason. Yeah.
Name me one policy that you push that actually strengthens this country.
Okay. Universal access to healthcare. Right,
no,
a public
everybody
option.
Dude, stop. Everybody agrees healthcare would be great. I'm referring to
what's Trump's healthcare plan?
No. But
what's Trump's healthcare? What's Trump's healthcare plan?
You're not gonna, dude. You're not gonna convince me.
What's Trump's healthcare plan?
As far as I'm concerned, there is
none.
Stop
being a baby and answer the question. What's his healthcare plan?
As far as I'm concerned, there is none. He has
exactly,
none. He has no idea.
Exactly. So you can't say it's the plan I just mentioned because he has no plan. He had concepts of a plan.
What I am getting at is everything you guys push. LGBT, trans,
you see
migration.
What I mean? What's wrong with the LGBTQ plus community? Tell me.
It weakens this country. It makes us look like pussies.
How?
You're fucking confusing because you're confusing the shit out of the young.
It's not confusing people to have LGBTQ plus community in our population.
People who haven't even hit maturity.
When you're saying that people can't be a part of the LGBTQ plus community, you're actually confusing children.
Believes that
you're actually the one confusing children because you're telling them that they can't be gay or that they aren't gay or that they aren't trans.
No,
when they actually
I'm saying
are.
that they shouldn't be exposed to it to the level that you degenerates
what do you mean by
want to push it at.
What do you mean by exposed? Like, what are you talking about?
Kids don't need to get the idea in their heads if they didn't have the idea in their heads that, hey I could switch my gender because at that moment in time, I feel like I want to switch my gender.
Hey, buddy.
I don't want to put into kids' heads.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you a question. When you were a kid, if you were told that you could be gay and could be trans, would you have been gay or trans?
No.
Exactly.
And are you saying that applies to everybody, Parker?
I'm saying that applies in practically every case. Yeah, you can't just.
What research have you?
Yeah, you think I'm going to force kids to be gay and trans by saying you can be gay or trans, so that if you're gay or trans,
Parker,
you can be accepted? Like what? What are you talking about?
Did you look at that shows that this applies to everybody? That question you just asked me, that applies to everybody. Everybody knew right at that moment, or they had that thought in their head. Hey, am I this or am I that until I was influenced by your movement.
Saying that you can be gay or trans and that you're accepted if you are is not going to cause you to be that way. In the
Now
same way that
explain to
saying,
me.
wait, in the same way that saying, if you like anime, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with liking anime. Is not going to cause every kid to then watch anime.
That is the dumbest fucking. That it might be the dumbest fucking point I've ever fucking heard.
It's not. It's literally just saying
Yeah,
like
okay, then let's just
anti-bullying
get to the
measures are
substance
not
of it.
causing kids to be in that
Explain-
certain way. It's just an anti-bullying measure.
Explain the strength of it. What does by
strength of
doing
what?
this? What does by pushing this LGBT progressiveness that we're seeing today? What does this do to strengthen the country?
Yeah, pushing the acceptance of people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community provides a greater community for them, ensures that they're not going to be disenfranchised to the same extent, literally just for being a part of the community for literally no reason. It's to limit the level of bullying and stigmatization that people who are part of the community
Everything
go
you're
through.
describing sounds like we're going to make things safer to make people weaker and weaker and even more.
How does this make people weaker? How is
Because at this
accepting
point-
gay people make things weaker?
Because you're putting out these fucking ideologies that quite literally, Parker.
How does it
in
make us
what
weaker?
world-
How does the ideology make us weaker?
Let me give you the prime example. In what world would anybody look at you and look at you as a threat?
Okay, it doesn't. No one's gonna look at me individually as a person as a threat. They're gonna look at like
And
what we have
why
access
on
to
earth
as a
would I
country
not
as a
take
threat.
it- and
Is,
why on earth
is anyone
would I
looking at
not-
Trump as as like his body, him as a person as a threat? No one's looking at Trump himself as a person as a threat. But obviously, it's what he has access to as president of the United States.
Guarantee, in any fashion, if I was
So
to
how
look
does
at
the ideology
you
make us weaker?
versus
He's pivoting
Trump,
from that. He's pivoting from this. How does the ideology make us weaker? How is supporting the LGBTQ plus community make us weaker?
this acceptance of any kind of debauchery, i.e., butt fucking.
What wait? Are you mad that people are having anal sex? What's wrong with that?
What do you think is wrong with that, Parker? Why do you think
Nothing.
it was so wrong that
What's wrong with
Bible
it?
itself? Why do you think, Parker?
What's wrong with it?
Do you think maybe
do
because
you think
it's
it's immoral?
disgusting?
I have a question. Do you think it's immoral if a man and a woman do it in a marriage?
Yes. And
Okay.
why do you think they're even
Well,
thinking
I have a
of
question.
doing
I have
it
a
now?
question. I have a question.
And
Do you think?
Parker,
Thank you for the
Parker,
bit, banana.
now
Thank you so
now
much.
stop,
Watch this. Watch this.
Stop, Parker.
No, how about you stop for a second? You're crashing out. You're emotional. Okay. Let me ask you this question: is oral sex wrong?
Parker, yes, it is. Parker, and why do you think those things are?
You think oral sex is wrong? You don't like getting a BJ, bro?
Bro, do you like having a shit dick in your mouth?
Dude, I'm asking you a question, right? Do you think a person in a straight relationship, a man and a woman, they're married, right, engaging in oral sex, do you think that's wrong?
Dude, I've already answered your questions. Now answer mine.
Do you
Would
think that's
put a
wrong?
shit dick in your mouth?
Do you think that's wrong? Do you think that's wrong? Oh, he got flagged for harassment and bullying. Meaning I gotta hit a restart on the stream. Actually, I'm not surprised that happened. That guy was literally so fucking emotional. It's unbelievable. He was just crashing out like crazy. Why was he acting like such a child? And by the way, he's just mad that he doesn't have hygiene. Like that's all it was. So I don't know why he was saying that, but he was saying oral sex as a whole is wrong. Okay. Well, I mean, we already know. We already know that the person he's with is definitely not pleasure. That's all I gotta say. I'll be right back, everyone. Gonna hit a quick restart. I'll see y'all in a quick second, everybody. We'll be right back. If you're here on TikTok, just click the profile picture in the top left. Click it again. Refresh. I'll be right back. It'll just be a quick second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hit a double blinker.
I can't. It's impossible right now. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
25.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, what's your birth year?
2001.
Okay, and why do you support Donald Trump?
Policies.
Such as?
The expanded fossil one.
Say it again, what?
Hold on.
Okay.
The expanded fossil fuel production.
Okay, by doing what?
Why do I have to tell you what it does? You asked for a policy.
Yeah. I said by doing what? You said
Can I
that's
go
not a
back
policy.
can I go back and read it then?
Yeah. Him expanding fossil fuel production would be a goal of a policy, not a policy in of itself. I just want to clarify. By the way, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everyone. It really helps push it out to significantly more people. I would really, really, really appreciate it. We're going to be on until around 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, everyone. We got 3 more hours or so at least on the stream. Just letting everyone know.
It expands the output of gas, oil, and coal.
What policy? When you're out of the app, I can't hear you. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I know. I have to go back and read it because I don't have. I'm like on my phone and stuff because I'm at like work, so I have to like go back and read it.
Okay. Well, the point that I would want to make is that his policies, I think, are not better for domestic production of energy because the fact
I think
that
they're better economically. Though.
they're not. Where every metric of the economy is worse off since Trump got in office. Can you name one main metric of the economy that's better off?
I mean, no, but you can't sit here and tell me that the metrics were better under the Biden-Harris
They were.
administration.
They actually were.
But the inflation was higher.
Nope, it was lower. At the end of Biden's administration, inflation was lower than what it is right now.
It was like a 2.7 or 2.8 under Joe Biden, but it's a 2.3 or like 2.4 under Trump.
Nope, it's 3.3 right now.
Well, then it just went up.
Yeah, because of Trump's war with Iran. And also, did you know that according to the Federal Reserve, we would be below pre-pandemic levels of inflation right now if Trump never imposed tariffs?
Well, tariffs can actually be good and bad for a country.
Well, what benefit did we get from the tariffs?
We didn't get anything yet.
Exactly.
Keyword, yet.
Okay, but we've lost out. There's been increased costs, but there hasn't been any benefit?
Yeah, but you have to get through how do I say it, like a bad storm to come out in the light, you know?
Yeah, but there's no evidence it's leading towards better conditions. Like, what we would expect is investment for manufacturing increasing in this country. What we've actually seen is a decline in real domestic manufacturing investment every single quarter of Trump's administration so far.
So you really think that Trump and Israel are just going to go fight this war, and you think after it's all said and done, you think they're going to get nothing out of it? That seems a little rhetorical.
Yeah. I think that there's no evidence that they're going to be getting anything out of it. And actually, all evidence points towards the fact that they're going to get less out of it than what we got through the JCPOA, which I would consider as nothing, because the JCPOA is what we had established originally before Trump pulled us out of it. So if he pulls us out of that position, that's the position we were already in, and that met more objectives than what Trump would meet through the war. That means he's got us nothing.
Well, I mean, the Strait of Hormuz will be opened back up, and we'll probably.
Yeah, but it was already opened.
Oil.
It was already opened prior.
What I'm saying is, have you ever negotiated something?
Yes.
So you would know when they're in the negotiation room, they're gonna ask for something, which means we're going to get something. It's not going to be for nothing.
Yeah, and if we're in a position where they've already closed
the room.
What you're not understanding is that they've closed the Strait of Hormuz. That gives them a leg up in the scenario. Whereas prior, under the JCPOA, they didn't do that. So you understand that that's going to be something that you have to negotiate for, you have to give up for, right? So you're not going to just get that for free.
Right. Yeah, I know this isn't the right way, but you do realize if we wanted to, we could just go take the Air Force and blow the Strait of Hormuz right the fuck open. Say, get the fuck out of here.
So they don't have to control the Strait of Hormuz. They just have to make it not safe enough to go through. You know that, right? Which means that they're going to bomb any vessel that goes through. They just have to make it more costly for the insurance company so that the freights never even go through in the first place because the insurance company wouldn't want to pay for it.
After we've seen over the years of Donald Trump's administration, when he gets annoyed because he doesn't get what he wants, what does he attacks? I really feel like if they just keep negotiating with Trump and pissing him off and
They're
doing
not
this
even
and then doing
negotiating
that,
with
and close
Trump.
the
They're
next day, open
negotiating
the
with
next
other
day.
people. It started with JD Vance, and then they realized
Wait,
JD Vance wasn't actually doing
they're
it.
voting.
So now it's
They're
Jared
voting with the
Kushner.
They're negotiating with the vice president. Something Kamala Harris could have done, but she didn't do it.
Kamala Harris did do that under her administration. Actually, did
She went to
have legitimate
fucking. She went to
negotiations that
England
she met.
to. She went to. She went to England, and not even 2 days later, Putin invaded Ukraine.
No, so that was something that was going to happen either way. Just because she didn't prevent that from happening doesn't mean that she's a bad negotiator. Trump said that he was going to end
I
the
really
Russia-Ukraine war.
think if a different.
Trump said that he was going to end the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours. Did he do that?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
But I really feel like if it was another administration, I mean, that war actually would have never started. You can't say that would have started just
It would
under
have
the
started
Biden
under
Harris
Trump.
administration. I mean, yeah, when you have a cognitive declined person who has cancer and some woman who doesn't even know her fucking how to tie her shoes, yeah, they're
She
gonna
does know
invade
how to
Ukraine.
tie her shoes. Why'd you say that after literally Donald Trump said that he drinks Diet Coke because he thinks it kills cancer because it kills grass? When Donald Trump said
The
that we should
guy-
look into
the guy
disinfectant
says
by
that-
injection to
the guy
fight
says a bunch of
COVID-19.
things, like
When Donald Trump
windmills
said that
kill
we should nuke
fucking
hurricanes to
whales,
fight
like-
them. When Donald Trump said that windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before.
That's
When
literally
Donald
what I
Trump
just
said
said.
that if Jesus were the vote counter in California, that he would have won the vote against Joe Biden. This is what your president has done. He looked up at an eclipse with his bare eyes twice.
Bro.
Okay, that's what your president has
you-
done, and you're going to sit there and
okay.
try to say that Kamala Harris is dumb? Are you serious?
Okay, and
it's actually Donald Trump. Did you know that?
And if you want me to be real, bro, I've done the same thing. I looked at an eclipse once or twice.
With your bare eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're just saying you're as dumb
And
as
guess what?
Trump.
And-
you're
and-
saying
and-
you're
and
actually
guess
just
what?
proving my point that you're
And guess
actually the
what? It
dumb
does
one, and it's
nothing.
not women, it's not Kamala Harris. When you make this whole claim
And-
that it's some women like this, it's because actually you're just likely a misogynist, and because you're stupid. It's not actually
You
because it's
actually-
reflective of their actual real mental states and how intellectually capable they are.
You think it does something to your eyes, bro? I just got my DOT physical the other day.
It
and I got
literally
20/20
does.
vision. It doesn't. I
You
got
can't
20/20
just.
vision,
Oh
bro.
my God! You think looking up at an eclipse doesn't do anything to your eyes?
If you look at it for
You
a
can
long
literally
period
go
of time,
blind
bro,
for. Stop
do
for
you
a
know the
second.
difference
You can
between
literally
look
go
and
blind
glance?
from this. Don't do that. Don't do that on my
Bro,
live stream.
Do you know? hold
Are
on,
you
I just-
actually stop, dude? Stop,
Do you know the
dude.
difference between look and glance? He glanced at it twice. He didn't look at it for 5 fucking seconds.
When you're glancing at something, are you looking at it?
Those are two totally different things.
When you're glancing at something, are you looking at it?
No, you're just glancing and you just
Come
peep
on,
it.
come
You
on.
peep
That's
that.
looking
You
at
peep
it.
That's
That's
why you're
looking at it.
smiling.
That's looking at
That's
it.
why you're smiling because you know.
Glancing is literally looking at it. What are you talking about?
I mean, I glanced at it twice and I got 20/20 vision, bubs.
Yeah, I understand. You got lucky. You know that you can literally go blind from doing that?
Well, thank God I didn't.
Yeah, you better hope. You better pray
And-
to the
and that's
Lord and
just-
Jesus Christ that you don't lose your
I just
vision
feel
next
like-
time you do that.
I feel like all the bad things, and I'm not even.
And by the
talking
way, you're the
political.
one trying to say that Kamala Harris is dumb. The guy who blatantly admitted
she
in front of
is.
literally 6,000 people that he has looked up at an
She
eclipse with his
said there
bare
was no
eyes.
She said there was no active troops or whatever in the first question or something in the presidential debate, and the Navy people or whatever posted a video that night or the morning of and
Yeah,
said,
she said
"Then
that
what the
no
fuck
one
are
was in an
we?"
active combat zone, and she happened to be wrong. Okay, that's just
Yeah,
that's
stupid.
dishonest to try to claim that that's like something that's stupid. That's just a
So then we
dishonest.
could
That's
say
dishonest.
multiple
Like
other
she,
things like that for Trump. Then,
you understand that's different than saying we should look into disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19. That's different than
Bro,
saying literally
you actually
that
think a lot of that shit is not a joke? I mean,
No,
come
he's
on,
being
take
serious.
a fucking knee slap.
he's
Take a
being
joke.
serious.
I'm
He's-
not, yeah, I'm sure.
These
he
are
was.
literally statements of him being serious. I can play the clips.
And why are
You
these
literally think it's
Dems
so
trying to
stupid that he's
take-
trolling.
Why are these Dems trying to take out Trump? I don't really get this.
You have no evidence that the person who shot at the White House was a
that
Democrat.
did not look anything like a fucking Republican.
How can you see whether or not they look like a Democrat or a Republican?
You
by
can
looking
judge
at them?
anybody. You can judge anybody off the car they
Okay,
drive.
what makes you think that they're left wing?
The way he looked
Like, what about the way that he looked?
and what he did. He was a tutor.
Wait, what about
That's
the way that
most
he?
fucking Democratic thing I've ever heard.
So being a
tutor.
tutor means that you're a Democrat.
I mean, it can be. Yeah, it's one of the.
There
of
are no
the
MAGA,
leading-
tutors. MAGA can't teach you anything.
I
So
feel
how
like
the hell
we're
could they
getting
be
off
a
topic
tutor?
now.
Actually, it's ridiculous, right? Actually, there's no actual way. There's no actual way. It's
I
ridiculous.
feel like we're getting off topic though.
So wait, by the way, so you just said someone who's educated and would be educating you would be a Democrat?
Fuck no.
That's what a tutor is someone who educates you.
Yeah.
So the
there's
people who
different types of
educate
tutors,
you
though.
are Democrats?
Wasn't he like a music tutor or something?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. But like, you said that he looks like a Democrat. How do you look like a Democrat?
He didn't look like he ever drank a white monster, I'll tell you that much.
Can you answer the question? What
What?
about the way that he looked makes you think that he wasn't a Republican?
He was bald, scrawny, and fucking looked lonely as fuck.
Bald, scrawny, and lonely? What? I don't By the way, that sounds exactly like a Trump supporter. Like, I think you literally just described an incel MAGA in his mom's basement.
We're not lonely. We go to the lake every week. And
Yeah.
our souped up trucks with our white monsters.
No, you go and fish alone with your fishing buddies?
No, I actually just went fishing with my dude and his girl, and then my girl. So,
Okay, you went fishing, of course. And let me ask, have you ever put a picture of you carrying a fish in your dating profile?
no, I actually put a dog in there for me. Boost them, you know.
Okay. Well, I mean, I
Women
would have
love
expected
dogs.
that it's a picture of you with a fish.
Nah, women love dogs.
And then you have Pro Bass cap.
A Bass Pro Shop? Oh, yeah.
Bass Pro Shop or whatever the
I
fuck
got
it
a
is.
Carhartt, too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
White
course.
Carhartt hoodie, a black Carhartt hoodie, a Carhartt hat.
No, the Bass Pro Shop hat.
I got
of course
the Bass
you got
Pro
that
Shop.
one.
That's for like bar nights, you know.
That's for bar nights. That's for bar nights.
Yeah, that's for like the nice, you know, fit.
Nice
right there.
bar nights.
You
We're
don't take the Bass Pro
the
Shop
Bass
hat
Pro
fishing.
shirt.
That's
Bass
disrespectful.
Pro
This one's
cap.
get it dirty. That's what the
Jeez,
Carhartt
bro.
hat
The
is for,
lifted
but we're getting off
F-150s
topic.
are lifted F-150s. I promise you, I can pull you like you've never
No,
seen
fuck-
before. Or
fuck
lifted
Fords.
F-150s, okay? Or
Fords
drinking
are
our white
found-
monsters,
Fords
okay?
are found on road.
Okay,
dead.
no,
I'm
no,
a Ram
seriously
guy.
though, what you mentioned though, what you described is literally like describing Nick Fuentes. So I just like I think it's actually more of like a right winger,
Nick
not a
Fuentes
left
is a
winger.
dumbass.
Yeah, it's more of like what you described there as a left winger or not a right winger, not a left winger.
I feel like Nick Fuentes is just a fucking nerd.
Okay, but well, he's dumb, so I don't know if he could be
Yeah,
classified
dumb
as a
and
nerd.
Well, you can be dumb and a nerd.
Well, I
You
mean,
can look
I
like-
just
well,
think
you
it's
can
typically
look like a
associated
nerd,
with
but
being
you-
smart, so I don't want to associate that to be the case.
Well, he just looks like a nerd to me.
Okay, well,
Or actually, he looks like a
dude,
pretty boy to me. Pretty fuck boy.
Okay, can you like engage the point? I don't know why you just
Oh, yeah,
randomly
well-
said that. Oh, well, you just got a flag, so you got a harassment and bullying flag. So let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. These harassment and bullying flags are nuts, dude. Alrighty, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Let's get this next person up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
24.
Do you support Trump?
Of course.
The election were held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Say that one more time.
The election were held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
I mean, didn't I just say I was a Trump supporter?
Yeah, but I mean, people say that and then they say they don't support Trump. They wouldn't vote for
Okay,
him. So
fair.
I just want to clarify.
Trump.
Okay, all right. Why do you support Trump?
I mean, it's like if you're gonna choose one or the other, I'm gonna choose the one that I guess I value their beliefs or opinions. Obviously, like I'm not gonna support everything he says, but there's just some things that I agree with that I don't support Kamala for.
Okay, such as?
Based off what you think.
You said what?
You state whatever you think, like why you think Kamala is a better choice, and then I'll go off what I think for Trump.
Yeah, because she advocated to actually apply tax cuts for working class people, such as the $6,000 child tax credit for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 through them being 5 years old, $3,000 through them being 18, a $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes, a $2,000 cap on pharmaceuticals out of pocket, a $35 cap on insulin for everybody, not for just people who are on Medicare. Those are different policies she advocated for, which actually benefits the working class and people in need and creates an opportunity economy, rather than Donald Trump's policies that disproportionately give tax cuts to the rich and wealthy. Oh, they just left. Okay. Linall, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you for bald and scrawny. Bro described Stephen Miller. Yeah, seriously. Fuck, I should have said that. That's actually Stephen Miller. That's actually the perfect explanation. Holy shit. Thank you. That would have been perfect to say. That's literally Stephen Miller. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Parker, I just want to say that you changed my mind, man.
Well, I appreciate you very much. We are just looking for some debates. Thank you very much. That's great to hear. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Fish girl mogs you.
Oh my gosh, that was a minor. Holy shit. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Hello? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Oh, okay, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We're just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Okay, let's go on to the next individual, everybody. Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen.
Parker, I literally love you.
Feed us! Yo, what's up, how old are you?
18.
What's your birth year? Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed on the screen. Alrighty, let's get this next person up here. Yo, what's up, how old are you? Hello? If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Alright, let's go to the next individual. Do just give us a quick second, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker. I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
Kinda. I'm on the fence.
What's your birth year?
2000.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 7 years old.
The Daffy, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? But Sandman, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I try. I apologize. Downward compression to make loud noises quieter helps when hitting the mic as well. Yeah, you know, that actually would help if I had one that would keep it all at the same volume. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
The election were held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, for sure. Do you think the shooting last night was staged?
Yes.
You do? As a Trump supporter?
I do. It was kind of ridiculous.
Okay.
But yes, I do support Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Mostly just because, you know, he's the best president we've ever had, and there's nothing you can say that can change my mind on that.
Okay. Can I ask you a question then? So why do you think it was staged last night?
Just because it was very fishy. The Secret Service kind of just walked in. They didn't seem to be in any hurry. It just was so sketchy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. In the video, they do seem like to be in a hurry. They're obviously sprinting in the video, but I just don't understand how they got past the Secret Service like that. Like, the Secret Service took so long to respond. If you watch the video, it's actually absurd. And then Trump tried to respond and was like, "Oh, they was actually so quickly. He ran so quickly, like the Flash. Actually, he was like the Blur. He was like a blur."
Yeah, no, they seemed like they were in a hurry, but they also just kind of seemed like they had their thumbs up their butts. They didn't seem to know what they were doing.
Yeah, the Secret Service was ridiculous there. It's actually absurd. The person wasn't running very quickly. Right, I'm watching the video literally right now. I think they ran across in a probably around that area. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna watch it. 1, 2. It took them 3 or 4 seconds to run past all of them. They easily could have responded quicker.
100%, yeah. But I do believe that there's a high chance that it was staged.
Oh, okay. What do you think the same thing about Butler, Pennsylvania?
What is that?
Where he did like the thing where he went like, fight, fight, fight after getting shot.
Oh, yeah,
the ear thing. Remember when he had like that thing on his ear?
Yeah, because Trump has always just been. He's been a very like. I don't know how to explain it, but he's always been a very like. The type of person to do that kind of stuff. Like it does seem very staged because why would you stand up and pump your fist after getting shot? Especially because you don't know if there's another person that's going to shoot you. So I just feel like in an instance like that, unless it's staged, you're not going to stand up and pump your fist.
Yeah, that's absurd, isn't it?
It is pretty absurd.
Yeah. Okay. So it does seem like you agree that it was fake and that Trump does these things for support. That's really crazy of him to do, of course. So why do you still support him?
I just support him because of what he's capable of.
Such
what he's capable of as a president. I mean, he's driven his own companies to the top, like not number one, obviously, but he's a outstanding businessman. And that in and of itself, I think, is credibility for him to understand the economy and how it works and to create some kind of influence to steady our economy and to grow our economy. He's a very influential figure. He has been for years. I just think that he's a very capable person to run for president, to be the president.
Can you name one outstanding business person that has 6 bankruptcies outside of Trump?
I'm not sure. I'm not very well versed on business people in general, but
he did inherit $400 million from his dad. If I inherited $400 million from my dad, I think that I'd be a billionaire too.
Yeah,
he's also made billions from the presidency. Is there any U.S. president in American history that's made billions from the presidency?
I don't know.
Nope, there isn't.
Well, I mean, that's fair. So he's made billions from the presidency?
Yes.
I'm guessing that's taxpayer money.
No, he made money through Truth Social, which, by the way, he has that valuation because of the fact that he's president, and he has ownership over it, along with the fact that he also dropped a meme coin and rug pulled it. He made almost $1 billion off of that.
He made a meme coin?
Yeah, he made Trump coin, and he dropped it, and then he rug pulled it.
Oh, my God.
And he made almost $1 billion.
Wow. I mean, you got to hand it to him. He's an interesting guy, but again, like he's a very comical individual, but I do believe that, again, like he is very capable. I don't think that these things make him incapable as the president.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that there are plenty of things I can point to that make him incapable of being president. But the point that I would like to make is that you said that him being a quote-unquote outstanding business person makes him good for the economy. Can you name one major metric of the economy that's been made better off since Trump got in office?
I believe the tariffs that he's put in place are, obviously for the time being, they're negatively affecting what we're doing. But I believe that it's an investment. Because obviously we're putting tariffs on, prices are raising, but I believe that it's going to encourage like people to manufacture our own goods so that we don't have to import certain goods. I just think that that's going to take a long time to take effect, but I believe that the tariffs are a good thing.
So tariffs aren't going to be in place in the long run because of the fact that they've been deemed to be unconstitutional. Then the thing that Trump tried to put it in place for means that they have to go through Congress very soon, which means that Congress likely won't vote for it. Also, in terms of tariffs, like they negatively impact us, and we've seen no positive impact. What you would expect to see is an increase in domestic manufacturing investment. We've seen declines in real domestic manufacturing investment every single quarter of Trump's administration. Why? Because it's increased the cost of domestic manufacturing in this country and provided no real incentive to bring back manufacturing to this country, because it's not expected that the tariffs are going to be in place in the long run, because it's not through legislation, it's through executive policy.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense for sure. I think it might be something similar to like communism, how it sounds good on paper, but maybe in practice it just doesn't go how you would expect it to.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, that's fair. Um,
Okay,
I mean,
then wouldn't you say that Trump's basically made every metric worse? Because what you brought up is a policy, not a metric type of policy. And I asked for like what metrics have made better off. Because what I can mention is that real GDP growth is lower than what it was when Biden left office. Real median wage growth is lower than what it was when Biden left office. We can also point to the fact that unemployment's increased. We've seen real domestic manufacturing decrease every single quarter of Trump's administration. Inflation has gone up. We've seen gas prices go up. So all the main metrics in the economy that people typically refer to have been made worse since Trump's got in office. So what makes you think that Trump's making conditions better off?
I mean, I get what you're pointing to, yeah. But is it not fair to also kind of shift some of the blame to what Biden did during his time in office is kind of affecting now? Like, it takes time for things to get into place.
What did Biden do to cause that?
I don't really know much about what Biden has done, but I'm just saying from like a standpoint of just kind of what you would expect, how it works just in general, certain things that Biden has done.
We'd have to point to certain things Biden's done that could have caused this impact. Otherwise, we can't make that claim. We did have inflation on a downward trend. Actually, according to the Federal Reserve, inflation would be below pre-pandemic levels if Donald Trump never imposed tariffs in the first place.
I mean, yeah, I think also, again, that brings in the point that tariffs are going to have an immediate, harmful effect on spending and inflation, because placing the tariffs immediately caused that to happen. But
we haven't seen any benefit.
Again, because that takes a long time. But I didn't know that the tariffs weren't expected to be in place
because it's their executive policy, and the tariffs were deemed to be unconstitutional. And then the new executive policy that he used to keep them in place, right, is only for 150 days or something, because then it has to be determined by Congress of whether or not they want to continue to keep them in place. So It seems like they're going to go away because Congress won't vote for them.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense, but there's just the hope that the tariffs can make some kind of beneficial increase.
Yeah, but if you see all evidence pointing against that, why do you still support it?
It's not that there's all evidence pointing against it. It's just that what do you mean by that?
All evidence is pointing against the fact that they are effective. All evidence is pointing towards that they're ineffective, just create worse off conditions for working class people. Because when you increase inflation, that disenfranchises working class people.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying makes sense. I don't know. The main point that I was trying to say is that when we aren't going to know 100%, there's estimations being made on these, what you're saying, the evidence, but we're not going to know 100% until a couple of years down the road what the effects are 100% going to be on the tariffs that have been placed in place.
Yeah, but we already know what some of the impacts are, which has been negative. We've seen no beneficial outcomes.
Yeah, I know, and that's kind of the point that I was making. We're not going to see beneficial outcomes no matter what right now.
But we're a year in.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
It's 1/4 of Trump's administration. We're nearly halfway through his administration.
Again, it takes a long time. I mean, I'm sure that we're still reaping some benefits from things that Obama has done, if they haven't been taken out of place. But that was 10 years ago when Obama was in office, and I'm sure that things that he has put in place we're still reaping some benefits from, and I believe that that's the same thing here. It's not going to have an immediate effect while Trump is in office.
But if it's not going to stay in place in the long run because through executive policy, and the next administration will get rid of it, and also Congress will likely get rid of it even before that point, doesn't that tell you that you probably shouldn't support Trump because his policy there doesn't make any sense? It's not beneficial.
Well, but again, what I'm saying is we don't know that it's not going to stay in place. There's logical evidence
we
that
do.
It won't,
Congress
but we don't
won't
know
vote for it. Congress won't vote for it. So it's just I don't understand why you'd rely on that.
Well, I'm saying that that's still kind of an assumption that Congress won't vote for it.
I mean, if you'd like to provide any evidence that Congress would vote for it, I'd love to see.
I mean, I'm just saying that the evidence could happen the day that it happens.
What do you mean?
I'm saying we don't know until it happens.
Okay, well, I think that we do, and it is happening. Like
I mean,
you can know what's going to happen before it happens, right? Because of things that have happened historically. Do you want me to give you an example?
sure.
Tomorrow, the sun will rise.
Yeah, but when is the sun never rose? When is the sun not rose? That's
Exactly,
factual.
but like exactly, we know that it's likely going to rise tomorrow because it rose every other day prior.
But that's scientific.
Yeah, of course.
That's scientific factual evidence that has never changed.
Okay. So you're saying because it has a potentiality of being different.
Well, I think you're trying to connect dots with two completely different things.
No, I can just give you countless things that could be different, but mostly is a certain way. So you accept how it mostly is until you have good reason to believe otherwise.
I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, so yeah, I mean, it's unlikely that the bill will be, or whatever it is, will be passed. The tariffs will stay in place. Congress will vote against it. But again, I'm just saying that it's not impossible that Congress will vote for it. It's impossible that the sun won't rise tomorrow.
It's impossible that the sun will rise.
If the sun doesn't rise, we are likely dead.
Okay, so
Or something.
and by the way, aren't there places that the sun always stays up, so it definitely doesn't rise in that scenario, yet they're not dead?
I'm saying in the sense of like the sun rises every day where you live. If the sun doesn't rise where you live, something is very wrong.
There are certain places on the planet where that doesn't happen.
But it doesn't happen out of rhythm.
There's still a rhythm to it, sure, yeah, but it's still like it's predictable.
It's predictable because it's what is.
Wait, when you say it's
going to happen based on
predictable,
science.
like the way you're saying weather is predictable, or certain conditions of sun patterns, and for example, like that, that's predictable. Well, then this is predictable as well, right?
It's predictable, but it's not.
It is predictable. We know that prices are going to rise when you impose tariffs. We know that conditions aren't going to get better off when you impose tariffs because of the impact of tariffs, historically speaking, and because economists can predict those things.
Yes, but again, it's not the same thing. Like,
I'm not saying it's the exact same thing. I'm just saying that there's some predictive power that you believe in. If we can predict something, you believe in it, right? Obviously, this is something that we can predict.
Yeah, it's just what I'm trying to illustrate is you don't know that Congress is not going to pass the bill in the same way that you know the sun is going to rise.
But it's most likely that they won't pass it.
Yeah, that's fair. Most likely, yeah, that's fair. But you don't know based on history. Things have happened outside of
based
the
on like what
history.
they support. We kind of know, so it's very unlikely that it will pass.
Okay.
Okay, so then given that you know all these things now, and Trump hasn't made the conditions of the economy better off, why do you still support him?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm willing to, like, I'm here so that you can change my mind. Like, that's possible. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm never going to support. I was joking earlier when I said that I'm like, you can't change my mind, because that's what most MAGA people say. But like, I'm genuinely here so you can change my mind. Like, I'm willing for you to change my mind.
And that's fine. That's fine. So like the point that I was making then is that if Trump's made the conditions of the economy worse off, and that was the main reason why you voted for him in the first place, that'd be a reason to vote against him. Is there any other point that you'd support specifically in relation to him that's keeping you in support of him?
Mostly just his dominance in like warfare, like and I'm not sure, because again, I'm uneducated, but like the way there was an imminent threat from Putin, like right as the election was happening, there was an imminent threat. Putin was very, very, very dominant against America, other countries, like threatening to nuke and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not sure how Trump handled that, but I know that he was claiming that he was going to put an end to that. And we haven't heard much about the Putin thing. It's been mostly Iran. But that is another thing.
That's
I think
still
that
going
Trump
on though. Like Trump didn't end the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours like he said he was going to do. Plus,
yeah, I
like,
that was a very bold claim.
Yeah. Plus, what Donald Trump's doing in terms of war isn't beneficial. He said no new wars, and then clearly didn't uphold that. Plus, he rolled out the red carpet for Putin.
What do you mean?
He literally rolled out a red carpet for Putin, and we got nothing better with Putin at all from the negotiation at all. Nothing. So his negotiation power clearly didn't work.
I mean, my main focus was just preventing us from being nuked. That was my biggest thing.
And he
Because
didn't do
as
that to a greater extent because they have higher levels of enriched uranium now. Iran, speaking, has higher levels of enriched uranium now than what they had under Obama. Under Obama, it was 3.7% maximum. They actually were at around 3.67%. No joke there. What's it called? Trump, since he pulled out of the JCPOA, it led to them developing 60% enriched uranium.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can agree, or like I will agree with you there. Like, that's ridiculous. But my main thing isn't that, like, again, I was joking when I said that Trump is the best president ever. But like, my main thing is that Trump isn't going to be the best for this role. But it was more of like, I believe that Trump would be more capable over Kamala Harris. Do you have
But
any
what makes you think that?
What makes me think that? Just because, mostly, if I'm being honest, because I'm uneducated about what Kamala Harris would have done. I don't know anything that she did do under
So
her
maybe you
vice
should look into
presidency.
that beforehand.
I tried to. I'm just not very good at researching things.
Did you watch the debates?
I did a little bit, not a whole lot, but
Maybe there's only one debate. Maybe you should have watched the whole debate. Maybe you should have looked at her policy website or listened to an interview that she engaged in, and maybe that would have given you a better view on it. Now it's good that you're here and you're like trying to listen to the things that I support, right? Or the reasons why I would do so. Maybe you should have done that prior to the election, though, right?
I can agree with that. Yeah, I was irresponsible.
Yeah, like I did these streams prior to the election. You could have easily come into my streams prior to the election, and you could have found out information about that. You could have gone into Kamala Harris's policy website. You could have watched the debates. You could have watched interviews that she did with Fox News or other individuals. I think there was clearly enough to be able to make said determination. It's just you probably didn't see it at that particular time period. So what I would tell you to do is go to look into those things, then make a determination. Because right now it seems like you actually have best reason to vote against Trump because everything that he's done is bad that we've been able to point to. Right, practically everything. Him preventing the release of the Epstein files, him trying to undermine the 2020 election results, him representing himself as God, him calling for the execution of some Democrats because they said to follow the law and to not follow unlawful orders. I mean, there's things that we can point to that are absurd and obscene, right? That, I mean, any typical person that would be against him, you would say would be better, even without looking into them.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying, and I think a big problem is that people like myself, like when I voted, a lot of people, and including people that I know, they kind of just saw the presidency election as more of like a, yay, we want this person, more of like a popularity thing. It's not even really about that. It's not really about policies as much as it is just like, I like this person more. And I think that's the problem that I had, is I saw the election as something that wasn't very important, as important as I believe that it is now.
I get you.
But
it very much is important. A lot of people don't see the importance. I
Yeah.
get where you're coming from. I understand. And it's oftentimes what a lot of people disconnect from because they think that they have no meaningful ability to change it, which we inevitably speaking do. And if we didn't have any capacity to change it, right, people wouldn't be engaging in voter suppression.
Absolutely, yeah. There is one thing, and I think you've succeeded. If I'm being honest, I think if there was an election held today, now that you've kind of like informed me, I would not vote for Donald Trump.
Okay, that's great.
But I did have one more question.
Go ahead.
Heard from a lot of people, like, and I haven't looked a lot into it, but I've heard about the like sexual assault case with him. Do you know about that? Like,
Yes. Look up Trump libel essay AP News. He was determined by a unanimous decision of all 9 people in a jury that he sexually abused Eugene Carroll.
Okay.
There's 27 plus people that have accused him of sexual misconduct. He's been credibly accused by a minor in the Epstein files that got a settlement with the Epstein estate, specifically for Epstein trafficking her to Trump. Was also another thing that she accused him of. So if she was determined to be a serious and credible accuser by the settlement that she got with the Epstein estate, well, then obviously we'd take this accusation credible as well. So there's countless things I can point to.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting. Is there anything that we can do about Trump being in office now? Like, is it possible for us to kind of start like the process to impeach him?
Yes, there is an impeachment process that can exist. We just need more Republicans on our side. We don't have enough people in the cabinet and Republicans in order to be able to either invoke the 25th or to impeach him. And I mean, midterms is a good way to start this. If you vote for Democrats in the midterms, it will limit his ability to be able to have power, right, going through into the next few years.
Yeah. So I don't support Trump anymore, honestly.
Alright. Well, I appreciate you coming
for
on.
what you've told me.
Thank you
But
very much, man.
I do have one more question. Like,
Well, all right,
this is
last
like
question, then I'll go on to the next person.
just a very important question. What can I like genuinely, not like I'm asking for like an actual answer. Like, what can I do to kind of spread this, like what happened here? Like, what can I do to try to make this happen more?
Continue to educate yourself more, right?
Okay.
Have conversations with people in your personal life. Talk to people around you whenever these conversations come up. Share that information, right? And then if you want to do other things, you can look into mutual aid. You can look into doing similar things to what I do. You can look into utilizing the things that you know and putting that into other things that you do. For example, we need a lot of people who are liberal, who are democratic, who are just doing typical normie stuff, right? I mean, like, we need makeup influencers that are doing this. We need people who are gamers that are doing this, that are more liberal, that have those views and carry those views into those certain communities that are apolitical. So there's so many different ways that you can involve yourselves, whether it be in protests, mutual aid, whether it be in activism, being involved with the rest of your stuff that you typically do, whatever you're already good at. I recommend whatever you're really good at, focusing on that, doing that, and you know, obviously other people can fulfill other things within a movement. The great thing about, you know, the fact that there's so many people is that we can focus on what we're best at, do that, and other people can carry what they're best at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
right, well,
that makes a lot of sense.
I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, have a great day. Let's go into the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Let's go to the next person here real quick. If you're on YouTube, again, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Let's get the next person up here, though, real quick, everybody. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Just letting everyone know we have 2.5 hours left on the stream. Just letting everyone know. Jared, thank you so much for the $5, by the way. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know why they already. Definitely are. They definitely are. As well as Chelsea, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you very much. Angie, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Michelle, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Thank you very much. That's great. I know it doesn't, right? It absolutely doesn't. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. And also, his other policies are disenfranchising that to a greater extent. So you're making a great point there. Marina, thank you for the $3 I actually did see. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
42.
Do you support Trump?
Yep.
You have a little bit of feedback and I can hear myself. Is there a way you can fix that?
1 second.
Alrighty. In the meantime, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen, everybody. It'll help get it out to more people. I still kind of hear myself, but it is better. So, why do you support Donald Trump?
Immigration policy and some things that he's done with the oil industry and trucking industry.
Okay, like what things in specific?
Well, for the trucking industry, cracking down on English speaking.
Okay, so I think that you can specifically still get your CDL and be a truck driver and be okay, even if you don't fully understand English. So I don't see any need to have like complete proficiency within English to be able to do that. You just need a certain level of proficiency to be able to drive, which is what existed under the CDL already. So I don't see anything that they're adding that actually creates better conditions within those respects. Plus, I see no evidence indicating that people who are driving that speak different languages are more likely to get into accidents, like proportionally speaking. Just giving individual circumstances of this happening is not evidence of a proportional likelihood.
Okay, but if they can't read traffic signs and stuff, that creates a safety hazard.
So again, not knowing the entire language doesn't mean that you can't read the traffic signs. Like for example, could you go to Mexico and read some of the traffic signs?
No, that's why I don't drive in Mexico.
Well, actually, likely you could, because there are other indicating factors that help you figure out what they are. Now, you wouldn't be able to do so in all circumstances. So, obviously, if you took a basic test that could tell you specifically, right, the certain different signs, what they mean, you could know what those signs mean without actually knowing all of the language.
Correct. You can correct with the visual signs, the pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, but for warning signs and stuff like that in the building, yes,
Yeah, and they exist in America, and they operate
yeah,
just fine.
they operate in America just fine, but not in the trucking industry just fine.
Yeah, but there's no evidence that you would need that within the context of the trucking industry, right? The context of the trucking industry, if it's necessary information, I could understand that. That would make sense. But what you're not understanding is that you could literally get around these things through GPS, through the use of technology, through the advances that we've made, and obviously there can still be translation. Plus, some of the things in terms of construction you can identify without having to specifically read the sign.
Not when it comes to limiting of height or width.
So if it's a limiting in terms of height or width, you're going to come and figure that out prior if you're going to go on a certain route. And that's also going to be determined by GPS. GPS tells you that.
To an extent.
And
GPS
road maps tell you
all-
this. You can look all this up prior.
To an extent, yes.
I don't think there's
But
some big problem with this happening all the time. Like I need evidence that this is some sort of big issue in the first place. If it's not some sort of big issue, I don't understand why we'd be even addressing it in the first place. They left. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Sorry, I did not mean to join. My bad.
You're good. Don't worry. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen.
Nigger.
You're disgusting. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
10-minute timeout.
How old are you?
25. I got a 10-minute timeout.
Oh, you have to join on a different account.
No, it said 10 minutes.
I know it does say that, but you should still just join in on a different account. It's better to do that. Do you have a second account?
It's called Clips.
Okay, I'll look. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah,
Election out today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
What's your birth year?
2006.
Okay, and what month?
August.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Mostly because of the whole ICE thing and getting illegals out of the country.
By the way, Clips will make sure to get you next, just letting you know. Okay, so what about ICE? Like, what policy change in terms of ICE do you like?
Just the fact that they're getting illegals out of the country, and
So no specific
think-
policy change in relation to ICE? Because that existed already.
Sorry, what?
That existed already. There were already deportations under the Biden-Harris administration. So what policy change in relation to ICE do you support that gets you to like Donald Trump's policy in relation to ICE?
Just the fact he's getting, enforcing it more stronger than others, I guess.
Okay, and how does that benefit the country?
I feel like most illegals are, enforcing more crimes because they would sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and leave.
Okay. Undocumented immigrants commit lower rates of crime. I think they were trolling though. So let's just go on to the next person. Let's get Clips up here.
No.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Just for future reference, what can and cannot say? Because I don't want to get me banned or you banned, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if it was either misinformation or harassment and bullying. Either way, just try to steer away from
So just keep it PG.
Yeah, just keep it PG generally, and
Okay.
then also for misinformation, really the only ones that get caught are like sometimes like election and vaccines. Other than that, like you're pretty much fine. Tina, thank you
Okay.
so much for the whale diving. Thank you very
Do
much.
you want to pick up on where we left off though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just think the expanding on oil and coal and all that, and is going to help economically. Like, uh, we even when the war is all said and done, like, I mean, it's going to do something for the economy. Exactly like when we I think Trump just invested like 18 billion into that Japanese oil rig or whatever that they're building, or it was like 18 trillion or something like that.
18 billion probably.
Yeah, it's probably 18 billion. But I remember like stuff like that actually will help out the economy because you know those are investments that keep going. You know.
I understand, but so if you want investments, you want the Trump administration to do that, why do you support their administration when they actively speaking of added more debt-related spending?
Well,
Push the money
I
again,
mean,
like over $4 trillion of more
every
debt-related spending
administration has
signed
had
into law
debt.
by the Biden Harris or by the Trump administration compared to the Biden administration.
I mean, we've had debt since the day I was born. I feel like every president kind of adds a little bit of debt to that, just because Trump adds a little bit more than usual. I mean, I don't think we should look at him the
It's
wrong
not a
way.
little bit more. It's almost double what Biden did.
Yeah, see, but then we go back to the inflation part, and the only reason inflation is up right now is because of the war.
It's not just because that's also because of Trump's tariff policy, which disenfranchises working class people.
Working class people, as in what?
What do you mean, as in what? As in working class people?
Like, yeah. And then
You don't
and
know
then
what working class people means?
I mean, I'm a working class person. Fuck.
Okay, so yeah, you've been disenfranchised by Donald Trump's tariff policy because he increased your taxes.
I got a lot back from my tax return, so I was pretty happy.
That means you overpaid.
Oh, well, I don't really know about all
You just
that.
that's all it means.
What overpaid in what? Can you be more precise?
You overpaid on your taxes. That's why you got a refund. You paid more than what you were supposed to have paid.
Well, yeah, because when you're younger, you get that shit back usually.
Yeah, because you overpay.
Overpay? They take it out of your checks, Nimrod.
Yeah, and you overpaid. So that's what a tax refund is. A tax refund, dude.
How did I overpay something that's taken out of my check every week?
The estimates that they made for your payments were higher than what expected.
So then you get that money back. How is that?
Yeah, because you paid more than what you were supposed to have.
So I got that money back is what I like. It's like I didn't lose anything is what I'm trying to say.
You did, right? You just obviously, like in taxes, it's just obviously you're getting some of the amount that you paid too much back.
I see. I was gonna say before like the violation or whatever came, I was gonna say I feel like you guys like look at Trump, as in like the bad past, and you don't focus on all the policies and good that he is coming out with. You know?
What policies? What good?
I can look up the can you say a DURG word or no?
No, you can't.
Okay, can I go look it up real quick? I have it in my folder.
Go ahead.
Okay.
If you're on YouTube again, everyone hit that thumbs up. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes. If you're here on TikTok, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's he expanded 15 of like high DRUG, and then he made it more affordable than what it would usually cost, like by 600%.
Are you saying the Trump RX?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's no different than Good RX that already existed. He just slapped his name on it.
But what about the 600% decrease that our RFK was talking about?
The 600% decrease that RFK. Yeah, that's in comparison to other sites or other costs, right? That's not in comparison to. It's not cheaper than GoodRx. Actually, GoodRx is better. Actually,
so then why are people saying that it is? Because that would be false information.
Because
right
it's
there.
literally just propaganda.
Didn't they just have a whole court hearing about this or something with like a bunch of like Democratic senators and stuff?
I'm not quite sure. I think so. Push the hand heart.
Yeah, and they were talking about how, or RFK was talking about how it makes people like in the lower middle class, how it's like more affordable for them.
It's not, because Good
For
RX is actually cheaper.
DRUG. See, I don't know how you can like it's right there on the like internet. Like if you look it up.
Yeah, go look up Good RX.
All right, give me 1 sec.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube again, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Everyone helps get out to more people as always. For anyone who doesn't know, a lot of Trump supporters today are actually claiming that the shooting that happened was staged.
See,
I think
don't
every
it was
Trump supporter
staged.
I've asked has said that.
I don't think it was staged.
Oh, well, now we have one that hasn't, because I didn't ask you. So we can talk about that in a second. But every other Trump supporter has said that it's staged so far.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's basically it's just saying it finds Americans the lowest cost for the DRUGS, like that they need.
Yeah, Good RX
That's basically
is even
that's
less.
basically what I read off of it. So why is Trump claiming this then? Like,
Because he's a liar and he
did
wants to.
something for it.
Because he has no healthcare plan and he's just trying to act like he has a healthcare plan and this is his healthcare plan when he actually has nothing. So it's his way of doing nothing while simultaneously
So it's
claiming that
basically
he
like
is
you're
trying to do
just shitting
something.
on all of his policies that he does come out with.
What's up?
Like the big beautiful bill. Like I guarantee you probably have flack on that, don't you?
Yeah, I actually do. That cuts over 10 million people
You just
off.
hate the guy. You hate the guy so much you can't look at the good he does.
I can. I'm telling you the things that are bad about it. Can you acknowledge that he could do bad things and that I could disagree with
I
it?
feel like we can all do bad things. I feel like I did
Yeah,
a bad
so-
thing
so-
last night.
What was the bad thing you did last night?
Yeah, I don't think it's TikTok appropriate.
What?
What?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
It involved alcohol and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure it's
Yeah.
not like you're just like admitting to murdering someone on the stream.
What
you know?
the fuck? No.
Hey, dude, I'm
What
not
the
quite sure.
fuck?
I'm not quite sure. Of course, I've literally had people come up on the stream and threaten to murder me. Right?
You're joking.
No joke. Countless times.
You're lying. You're lying.
Nope.
Some person in their mommy's basement comes up on your live and
And
says they
threatened to
wanna
unalive
off
me?
you.
Yeah, there's actually videos on YouTube you can find of this. If you go to my highest viewed videos on YouTube Shorts, you can see someone literally threatening to unalive me.
Kind of like Trump with the. Oh, MAGAs. They're really hurting us. Yeah, I just feel like he has a lot of good policies, though. And, I mean, I just don't. I think you're going to always hate the guy because of all the bad he's done and any good that he does do. Like he said in front of when he had that State of the Union, he could find a way to cure 15 types of cancer, and you'd still hate the guy.
No, like, let me tell you what I disagree with, okay? So in the Big Beautiful Bill, it cuts 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month. Over 2.5 million people off their access to food stamps on average every single month. And over 10 million people off their access to health insurance, while simultaneously adding $3.4 trillion to the debt, and most of the tax cuts went to millionaires and billionaires. Now, the aspects of the bill that I think are good, Kamala Harris would have maintained. She wanted to keep all the tax cuts. She wanted to keep all the tax cuts applicable to income earners under $40,000 a year. Hell, I'll mention another thing that I like. I like the
all this. Why did
What's
she do it in the 4 years that she had the vice president role?
That's
Why
like
couldn't she have influenced Joe Biden to do some of this shit?
That's like claiming Trump should have done everything that he was claiming he was going to do for his second administration in his first administration. Like, you don't believe anything that he was going to do for his second admin because he already did it with his first admin, or he already had the
I
time to
didn't
do
believe
it?
everything he said, but I believed more of what he said than I believed Kamala.
Okay, so then I think that's dishonest then, because he had more of a shot to get everything passed than she did as vice president.
What do you mean?
As
'Cause
VP,
Biden
you
really
don't have
let
as much
Kamala-
power as you as president.
Well, yeah, but Biden. It's not like Biden said, "Shoo, shoo, go away." I'm pretty sure Biden would let her handle like
Wait,
majority.
let me just give an example, right? JD Vance disagreed with the Iran war.
Like,
but they
when it
still
started, or-
went to, yeah, he was actually providing the arguments against going to war with Iran.
Well, then,
He
'cause
actually
he probably
disagrees
had.
with the war with Iran. So let's clarify. Even though he disagrees with the war with Iran, and he even said that he disagreed with it, he still has to support the administration. If he decided to be like, oh, I don't support the war and actively against it, trying to tell the administration to stop doing the war from in public, that would have really harmed his own administration, right? And that would have
I don't
increased the
think it
likelihood
would
that
have.
Democrats get elected.
I just think it would have caused a little bit of conflict, not harm.
It would have harmed, yes. It like literally, if JD Vance did that, it would have caused a greater fracture within the Republican Party, and it would have helped
Hold on.
Democrats.
If you know this stuff, right? If you know this stuff, how does Trump not know this stuff? Because I'm sure that would have been all
They,
over
they
the
of
news.
course do know this stuff.
So then why ain't Trump saying nothing about it if that's true? Because you know Trump would say something about that.
Say something about what?
Like traitors and shit, damn near. Like, oh, J.D. Vance said it. This war wasn't needed. He's a damn traitor to our country.
He said that. He said that to him.
Oh, he said that to Trump.
Yeah, like they when talking about whether or not they should go to war with Iran, like he was in those conversations and he was claiming we shouldn't go to war with Iran. Trump still decided to go to war with Iran because he decided to listen to Netanyahu and Mossad.
Well, I feel like Israel kind of needed our help. You know, we're America. We can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Fuck that, dude. Do you want to constantly engage in forever wars for the state of Israel? I don't.
No, but I also don't want innocent
Would you
people
enlist?
that aren't even Americans to just get unalived for no fucking reason.
But that's happening to a greater extent because of the fact that Trump caused this war.
That's like a protest that we do here. If me or you go to a protest, we don't have to worry about our lives at stake or being unalived by.
Unless you're Alex Preddy or Renee Good.
Yeah, unless you bring a freaking gun to a freaking protest.
So Kyle Rittenhouse, should he have been scared for his life?
What do you mean?
Because he brought a gun to a protest? What happened to the Second Amendment? Because you know that Alex Preddy is a legal, lawful gun owner. Concealed carrying legally.
Yeah. Parker, have you ever taken a gun, firearm, like CCW course or whatever?
No.
Your instructor will tell you from the start, you have to be the smarter person. You don't bring your freaking firearm in front of a crowd that's going to more than likely be a hostile environment.
No, wait. This isn't like some planned protest that existed. They were just out in public. And also, secondly, in terms of this, they have a Second Amendment. He's a legal, lawful gun owner that can conceal carry within Minnesota. That's a fact, okay?
Okay.
So what he was doing was actually like a scenario where you can carry the gun, and people would be completely like that's legal under that time. Now, if you're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, what he was doing wasn't legal because he was like pointing his gun at people. And like walking down the street carrying the AR. What?
Wasn't that like a BB one?
No, it was a real gun.
So wasn't he? Didn't he go to jail or something? The kid crying like.
Nope, he never went to jail because he was determined to be innocent because of self-defense.
Well, then he was innocent for self-defense. Alex Peretti literally freaking kicked the freaking brake light of a...
12 days prior, and that's not justification for him being murdered. Do you think he was murdered?
No.
Wow, you don't think... So what did he do that justified the LEOs shooting them?
You brought a firearm, and you resisted.
So one, he didn't resist. And two, in terms of bringing a firearm, he's a legal, lawful gun owner. So, by the way, you don't believe in the Second Amendment because you believe that people can shoot you and kill you and murder you if you're just carrying a gun.
I believe people who own those things, firearms, I believe you have to have the brain power to know what situation to bring them in.
Do you know what concealed carry is?
Yeah, my dad had it for fucking 40 fucking something.
So do you think if someone's concealed carrying, they should be shot?
No. But
okay, that's what you just justified, though.
He didn't bring it into crowds and stupid places.
No, but he was in public, and then this happened to occur. It's not that he like went to a protest with this in the first place.
He's at a
and even so, that's not justification for the LEOs using lethal force.
I mean, when he has a firearm, you kind of have to make your own decision. It's a split-second decision, kind of like the Renee Good thing. Like
these people, it hurts talking to you. Because did you even watch the video?
I watched one video, yeah.
So you watched him with him on the ground. He was already disarmed. And he got shot in the back like 12 times. Do you think that's justified?
We don't know who this guy is. He could have had some jujitsu training and fucking slung one off.
Sir, can you repeat back what I just said?
You said something about Alex Peretti. Was it justified for his murder or whatever?
So listen, respond after I'm done speaking. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what Alex Peretti did was that he was already disarmed. He was already on the ground. He had multiple agents on top of him, right? He was already disarmed before he was shot, and he was shot 12 times in the back.
Yeah, someone jumped off when they were on top of him and then started popping some shots off.
Yeah, so why was that justified? What imminent
there
risk?
wasn't no body cam inside that pile though. We don't know what was going on.
We do. We actually
can
do.
only see
So
it from
what
an outside
what
perspective.
imminent? We can see exactly everything. There are multiple different angles. What imminent threat of serious bodily harm and or death in the scenario was present for any of the officers?
The fact that he was resisting when they have firearms on them and he's in a foot reach of them.
He wasn't resisting.
He was resisting.
How?
There was like 6 of them on top of him trying to get him in cuffs. What are you talking about?
He wasn't resisting. How was he resisting?
I think me and you had 2 totally different outputs on it. Resisting.
Yeah, we do. So tell me, how was he resisting? Answer the question.
He was not listening to lawful orders. If he would have
So
listened,
what was
he would
the
have just got
resisting?
on his stomach and put his hands up
He already was.
on the ground. He wasn't. He was lunched over like a lawn chair.
No, he was on the ground.
Can you replay that video then? Because I feel like we saw 2 different videos.
Yes, I can. All right, let me play the video.
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing.
I hope it plays. It actually, I don't think this one plays the whole one. Give me 1 second. Let me get.
You're good. And while you're finding it, didn't his family say he was like weird for the past 3 months and
No.
didn't go into work and was missing shit?
No, nothing about his family justified what happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're still in the justify thing. That's what.
Yeah, of course we are. Actually, we actually have Dean's video. Let's just pull up Dean's video.
How's that guy doing, by the way?
How is Dean Withers doing? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on live for a minute.
He goes live every day.
Oh, I must not be on TikTok that much anymore.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are you friends with what's his name? That Johnny P something?
Not very much friends. Like more like acquaintances.
Okay.
I'm pulling up the video. It's been a minute since it's happened, so here we go. Alrighty. Let me pull it up.
By the way, if I get dispatched, I gotta go like immediately.
Dispatched? What do you mean by dispatched? Are you like a cop or something?
No, I'm a plumber.
Okay. All right. All right. If you get dispatched, we'll make sure to let you go.
Well, yeah, because I got 45 minutes to get to the job, and if not, I get doxxed on my pay. So.
Yeah. Of course. If you have to go, there's no big deal. Okay.
And you called me a name, and we're gonna get past that after this.
Did I call you a name?
Yeah, on my other account when we were there.
What did I call you?
You called me misogynistic.
Oh, you probably did something misogynistic, so.
Federal agents just fatally shot 37-year-old American citizen Alex Peretti, who was a registered nurse and a federal worker with no criminal record. This happened less than 3 weeks after and 2 miles away from where Renee Good was fatally shot.
Oh, wait,
by other ICE
pause.
agents in Minneapolis.
He's not resisting, right?
Yeah.
He's really?
Yeah, look at the video.
Minnesota. Trump administration officials have said
him
that
moving on the ground. Actually, one thing I need to tell you is him moving on the ground. That's actually a normal bodily response in that scenario.
No,
that's not him.
No.
Let me clarify.
Yeah.
That's not him resisting. There's been many court cases on this determining that a normal amount of response, like when you have multiple people on top of you, your body will normally just like push and respond like that. That in of itself is not determined to be resisting arrest. Like, I just want to
Before we
clarify.
Before we keep playing that video, or if you're gonna play it anymore,
Yeah.
if you are told something and you don't do it, and then they have to force themselves on you to do that per se thing that they said,
That's not
wouldn't that be
resisting
called
arrest.
resisting
And even so, resisting
I feel
arrest is
like
not
you're
a
just
justification of lethal force.
You just don't like ice, then, I guess.
No, it's not a justification of lethal force.
I mean, lethal, but taser and pepper spray could have been better.
They did use that.
And he still wasn't listening.
No, he was literally on the ground.
Resisting. You can see it right there.
No, he wasn't. Let me play the video and then you can give your response. Is that okay?
Yeah.
These were, quote, defensive shots fired at Alex because he was armed with a pistol and violently
Holding his
resisting
arms.
any attempt made by the ICE agents to disarm him. However, my analysis of bystander footage from multiple angles seems to contradict the administration's response, because it shows that Alex did not approach any ICE agent with his firearm, and in fact an ICE agent was able to disarm him and take his legally owned and legally carried gun before he was shot and killed.
That just made no fucking sense.
Here's the beginning of the confrontation. Alex can be seen in the middle of the road filming an ICE agent with his cell phone. In fact, he tells them to not push people into traffic. At this moment, the woman recording puts her phone down. Let's now look at a different angle captured at the same moment in time to see what happens next. An ICE agent can be seen pushing a woman, who is then caught by Alex, who helps prevent her from falling to the ground. Alex, alongside the woman who's pushed to the side of the road, can now be seen getting pepper sprayed. He seems to get on top of her in an attempt to protect her from most of the spray. We will continue the footage from a different angle with better visibility.
The fuck, people! The fuck is wrong with you?
Alex has now been tackled to the ground by a large group.
What? I just got a flag for your live contains themes that may shocking and graphic content. Okay, I don't care. We're gonna play it. We're gonna play it and then I'll restart or whatever the fuck I need to do. That's so annoying.
Of ICE agents.
TikTok
And
is
this
so
is where he
dumb.
is disarmed by an ICE agent who takes his legally owned, permitted to carry pistol out of his holster attached to his hip. More specifically, this ICE agent, the man in the back wearing the gray jacket, better seen from this angle. Let's slow it down. First, you could see prior to approaching Alex, he does not have a gun in his hand. As he's bending over, from another angle, we could see that this agent still does not have a gun in his hand. And now, without ever touching his own waistband, meaning we know it's not his, he has a gun in his hand after reaching down to Alex's side. Let's look at that gun from a better angle. Here, zooming in, we could see that this is a pistol with a lighter body and some type of an attached scope. Now let's compare that pistol to an image of Alex's pistol that we know he had on him. This was shared online by DHS. Each pistol has a body that's painted in two different tones of brown. Each pistol has a grip that is a lighter shade of brown than the slide. And each pistol has an attached sight.
And I can go to the rest, but do you understand, at least from this point, that
That's
he clearly
just
had
resisting to
multiple...
me. I mean, that is quite.
That was
literally
not resisting.
I don't know how you can look at that, Parker, and say that's not resisting.
That
at
was
all.
not resisting. And also,
I
even so, right, none of that, what was the justification for lethal force?
Lives are at risk. I mean,
What lives?
the ICE agents' lives, and you don't really care
How
about
so?
them, but
How
other
so?
people
How
do.
so? Tell me.
There's a firearm, and bro's getting pepper sprayed. Do you think emotions aren't going to come into a play at some
They were
point?
disarmed. We just watched the video of them being disarmed prior to being shot.
Who? You mean Alex?
Yeah, Alex Preddy was disarmed prior to being shot.
You know,
We
and-
just
and
watched the
all
video of
those
the
ICE
agent going in
and
and taking
all-
the gun.
Yeah. And all of those ICE agents had a firearm, Parker. It doesn't matter if they took his gun. He still could have reached for one of theirs.
Okay, so what you're not understanding in terms of this is that there was no evidence that they were reaching for any of the other guns. You're being ridiculous.
No. Your
There's-
opinion
Stop.
is I have
Can
no
you shut up for a second, please?
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, yeah.
You cannot say because the person that they shot could have possibly reached for a different gun, that's evidence that they are justified in shooting them. You are joking, right?
No, that's not
Because
evident.
it's
That's
possible
not
for any human to do
justifiable.
that. Therefore, under your view, it's justified to shoot any fucking person.
No. But what I'm trying to say is, if somebody like that tells me to do something, I'm going to follow
And
orders.
I don't. Okay, I'm sorry. You saying I would follow the orders is not justification to shoot Alex Preddy. What order did he need to respond to? And even so, if he didn't, if he could not listen to any of the orders, and it's still not justified to shoot him because he
Maybe
posed
if you're
no
getting
imminent.
pepper sprayed, how about you
Please
walk
be
away
quiet.
from the fuck-
He please be quiet. He posed no imminent risk of serious bodily harm and/or death to any of the agents in the scenario. So what was the
Opinion.
justification?
That's an opinion right there.
No. It's the fact. It's the fact of the matter that there was no imminent risk of serious bodily harm and/or death in the scenario.
Who claimed that to be a fact? Trust me, bro, on you.
You have to mention the the imminent risk of serious bodily harm and/or death in the scenario. That's your burden of proof.
The firearms that are in a freaking arm's reach of him, dude. Have I not said that multiple times?
So again, there just being a possibility that he could reach for it, which,
Yeah,
by the way, there's
exactly.
multiple agents on top of him. There just being a possibility that he could reach for it is not evidence that he's justified in being shot. That's not an imminent risk of being, like if he were to reach for it, for example, and grab it, that would then be an imminent threat. But because you never reached for it or grabbed it, that's not an imminent threat. You're just saying it's a threat or something that could potentially be a threat. But there's no evidence that he actually was doing that at all. There's no evidence he was trying to do that. He had been pepper
There's no
sprayed.
evidence that he
He had
wasn't not
multiple.
trying
He had
to do that,
multiple.
though.
He had multiple agents on top of him. In that scenario, all evidence indicates that he literally did not have the capacity to do that.
I don't know. I think we just have two different opinions. Like, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them.
But I think you're being dishonest because you're not actually engaging with what I'm talking about.
I am. I just think we have two different opinions of what's rightfully so.
Can you stop saying two different opinions? If you say it one more time, I'm going to kick you. Of fucking course we have two different opinions. We're two different people. No one's disputing that. Can you tell me why you disagree with me? Like, why do people do this? I know that you disagree with me. Thank you for telling me. I'm not an idiot. Are you fucking serious? Tell me why you disagree with me.
Because there were firearms in arm's reach of the guy.
I already answered this. I already responded to this. What was my response?
I forgot.
Of course. So the response is, just because something is potentially the case that it could happen does not mean it's an imminent threat of happening. There needs to be an imminent threat of something happening, of you being of serious bodily harm or death in this scenario, for you to be justified using lethal force. If they never reached for any of the officers' guns, the fact that it's possible that they could have reached for a gun is not justification to use lethal force and shoot them. Then, based upon your argument there, any time an agent or an officer is arresting someone or detaining them, it is justified to use lethal force and shoot them in the back of the head or in the back because you think that they could have reached for the gun.
Oh, well, I mean, then I guess you could say the dude was done wrong. I guess. If you're saying it in
What do you mean, I guess? That was clearly murder. We all saw it in front of us. The fact that you dispute that to this day is fucking disgusting.
I mean, that's another opinion-based thing.
Dude, are you incapable of actually intellectually engaging with said opinions rather than just saying it's an opinion? Like, why do people do that? That's an opinion. I'm sorry. Just pause. You say that's an opinion. What's that supposed to do? Is that supposed to be something that you can use to not respond to what I said?
No, but it just means we have two different points on what is said.
Yeah, and everyone knows that. We're in a fucking debate, dude. Of course. Now
Of course
respond to what I said.
I just did, didn't I?
No, you didn't. You just said you have an opinion there, Parker.
No,
Well, thank you for telling me. Of course I have an opinion. Now can you fucking respond?
I quite literally said then I guess he was done wrong.
So, it was obviously murder, right?
I guess you could say that then, yeah. If
No,
you're
it's
looking
not,
at it,
dude, it's not I guess you could say that. It's what do you think?
yeah, he was more likely murdered.
So you think he was murdered. Okay, so I don't know why you were justifying it in the first place.
Well,
Okay.
because you're saying all these what ifs. Like, what if this? What if that? Like, you could say a bunch of what ifs in a scenario like that.
I don't think I'm what ifing a lot. What am I what ifing?
You're saying how
Aren't
he's
you
already
what ifing?
pinned
You
down.
literally said, "What if he reached for the gun?"
Yeah, you're saying he's already pinned down. Then it just comes into what ifs. I mean, we don't know who this guy is. He's some
What
random
ifs?
person off the street that they just disarmed. They have wife and kids to go home to. They don't know who this person is.
But they pose no threat, no actual legitimate
How do
imminent
you
threat.
know that though? You
Because I can
don't
watch.
know.
I'm sorry. It hurts my brain how stupid you are. It actually does. I'm not trying to be rude, but it gets to a
No,
point.
I get
It
that a
gets
lot
to a
from my girl.
fucking it gets to a fucking point. We saw it on video. There's nothing in that video that shows that he posed any meaningful threat. For you to even act like there was any legitimate threat in that circumstance literally demonstrates that you don't give a shit about the facts of the case.
Not because facts can just be stupid shit for real. Like the one trial with Eugene or whatever her
Eugene
name was.
Carroll.
Yeah, it said in the I think Dean. I saw him. He likes to pull when I was watching him. He likes to pull it up all the time. It says just because the law was changed a year later or something, the jury ruled it SA, but they didn't rule it RAPE.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the law was changed, so then you guys just classify him as that RAPE.
No, it's because the colloquial usage of the term. We believe any woman who's been forcibly penetrated in the vagina against their will, we believe that's rape. Okay? Just because it wasn't legally defined at that time, just because it wasn't legally defined at that time as rape does not mean it's not legally defined as rape. Also, then if you say what are the grounds for self-defense, give legitimate grounds for self-defense that are independent of what the legal grounds for self-defense are. I'm telling you what legal self-defense was under the context of the law, and you're responding with, "Oh, I don't think that this was self-defense." Or I mean, I do think that this was self-defense in this scenario. So then, what are the grounds that you?
That went on to Eugene Carroll.
Okay. Well, I thought you were trying to talk about Eugene Carroll to try to bring it into the conversation that we were talking about. Otherwise, you're just pivoting. Are you admitting you're pivoting?
Oh, is that what pivoting is?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't mean to pivot. I was just bringing up a topic of you can't believe everything you see because the jury said it was SA, but not RAPE. But now you guys say it's RAPE just because the law changed.
No, it's not just because the law changed. It's because it's literally defined as that.
Yeah, you can't believe everything you see out there. People can be wrong at some points.
It's not anything you see. This is literally a civil case with an entire unanimous decision from 9 people in a jury. Plus, there's 27 plus people that have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct. Plus, there's a credible accusation from a minor in the Epstein files against Donald Trump. Plus, Donald Trump's bragged about grabbing women by the vagina without asking. Plus, Donald Trump's bragged about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without the consent. Where two 18-year-olds came out, said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms. But you're going to sit here and defend Donald Trump no matter what, and you're not going to intellectually engage with any of the points that I've actually brought up because you're literally fucking incapable of doing so.
Again, another opinion.
Well, thank you for telling me that was an opinion. Everyone already fucking knew that.
Captain Obvious over here.
Yeah, you are literally Captain Obvious, my guy.
I just think, like I said in the beginning, I think you hate the man too much to look at the good that he does.
I think you're too cult-brained to actually look at anything bad that he did.
No, there's no cult in me.
You are absolutely in a cult. You have no meaningful intellectual capacity of calling out Trump.
Today, if he did something,
do it then. He did. Are you Christian?
No, I am Christian.
Okay, how do you feel about him committing blasphemy?
I didn't like the picture he put up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's an unforgivable sin. So if it's a red line for your God, why isn't it a red line for you?
You know, I've had prayers and Bible sessions about that, and I'm still, I don't know.
Yeah, you should do some more.
I probably should.
You should get on your knees and repent to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Well, he already repented for our sins when he died on the cross.
No, you need to get on your knees and repent for your sins for following a blasphemous orange man that is disgusting and horrible and has raped people. Okay, you should not defend such a guy. That is horrible. No, it's not. It's not just that I think that. It's that the laws determine this to be the true.
The laws. It was SA. It wasn't RAPE.
Okay. Do you think that that's enough reason to stop supporting him then?
No, enough reason to stop supporting him would be if these emails got unredacted.
Wait, can you tell me what you think rape is?
Forcefully penetrating a woman's. What am I allowed to say on here?
Woman's vagina against her will. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So it was rape. That's what I mean.
Well,
like, why do people
are
act
we
like? Why do you
are
act
we
like this?
talking?
Like, why do
Are
you
we
have to be
talking?
a pedantic loser like that? Like, everyone knows it's rape. You know, based upon the definition, based upon what we're referencing, it's rape. Why do you have to do this whole thing of, oh, it's not actually SA, it's rape, or it's not actually rape, it's SA? Like, it's so fucking cringe.
Well,
Regardless,
because did
even if it's SA
did
and
he
not rape,
penetrate with
that's
the?
still bad. That's still a reason not to support him. Secondly, it's still fucking rape. Okay? This whole
New
fucking
York didn't
mantra
say
that
it as
people try
that
to
at
do
the
of, oh,
time.
actually, dude, it was determined to be SA and not rape is such a ridiculous fucking bullshit argument that people use to try
New
to
York
demean
didn't seem
how
to
bad
see
it
that at the
actually
time.
is, right? Because they're unwilling to actually engage with the intellectual basis of the case.
I looked at the case. I looked at what the jury said. It
So
was
name one piece
SA.
of
It
evidence
was
in the
not
case you
rape.
dispute. So name one piece of evidence in the case you dispute.
Like the fact that there was DNA on her thing and they wanted Trump to give up DNA. Fuck that shit. I'm not giving up my DNA either. What the fuck?
So you'd rather give up tens of millions of dollars and
If I
threaten
was
your
a
chance
rich
of
fuck
winning?
like that, if I was a rich fuck like that,
Eric,
then
thank you for the
yeah.
Viking Hammer.
If
You
I
know
just
what?
had money to fucking throw, yeah, I would do something like that. But I don't have $10 million, Parker.
I hate to do this, but genuinely, you are actually one of the dumbest people I've ever talked to. You are so fucking stupid, it's unbelievable. The fact that you'd even say such a stupid thing is unbelievable. He's running for president, he cares about his reputation, and he doesn't want to give up tens of millions of dollars. If you were under the threat of having to give up... Shut the fuck up for a second and listen, okay? If you were under the threat of losing tens of millions of dollars and your reputation being negatively impacted while trying to run for president of the United States, you'd give up your DNA if you actually were innocent. Okay, this proves that he's not innocent because the facts are that if he was innocent, he would have proved he wasn't at the scene of the crime, like he claimed he never met her in the very first place, to then exonerate himself to prove he wasn't at the scene of the crime to everyone so that his reputation wasn't negatively impacted and so that he didn't have to give up tens of millions of dollars. And if you're telling me you'd rather give up tens of millions of dollars and literally have your reputation disenfranchised while you're trying to run for president of the United States because you're such a fucking literal hard-headed loser, I don't fucking believe you, and I think you're lying to me, or you're the most stupid person on the planet I've ever fucking talked to. You're the most naive, unbelievably stupid person I've ever talked to, if you actually legitimately think that's an actual reason. Are you serious?
If all that came out before my election or whatever,
it did.
And I still
literally did.
Hold on. Let me finish. And I still had 71 something million people fucking on my side. Then yeah, I would not give a fuck.
You see what I mean?
I have millions of people who believe
he doesn't know what the election results would have been, and he obviously wants to create better conditions for the election results. And that doesn't happen if you continue to have a system specifically that is determining that this is true about you, and you can prove it to be wrong with literally just giving up your DNA. You are an absolute idiot if you would not give up your DNA in that circumstance, if you never met them and you knew that it wasn't your DNA on that dress. What the fuck are you talking about? You'd give up tens of millions of... You wouldn't care about tens of millions of dollars. Are you serious?
If I was a billionaire, do you know how much a million and a billion is?
Yeah, you'd still care about tens of millions.
No, because if you're a billionaire, tens of millions of dollars means absolutely nothing.
You still care about tens of millions because this is liquid money that you have to give up.
But at the same time, I still had 70-something million people believe me. The fuck do I need to show to other people?
So what you need to demonstrate is that this isn't applicable to you. So you don't have... If you can prove that you specifically didn't do this, why wouldn't you? Even if you didn't have the case of running for president, you would if this was applicable to you. Like, why would you...
Guess, yeah,
like, dude,
but like, it's
that's
not
ridiculous.
Needed. If I know I didn't do it, I know I did not do that.
Would you give up? Would you give up like 10% of your net worth?
For what?
For this? Because you're so hard-headed?
Like, of my net worth of, like, me right now, or if I was a billionaire?
Regardless.
I'm not gonna lie. No, I wouldn't. But if I know,
Exactly, that's what I fucking thought, dude.
But
so stop being a disingenuous prick and actually engage with my points here.
If I haven't called you a single word. Calm down.
I don't fucking care. I don't care. When you sit up here and engage in this bullshit of, oh, E. Jean Carroll wasn't sexually assaulted. Oh, I don't think that this is applicable. Oh, I think it's a bullshit case. And you didn't even fucking look at the case. And the thing that you bring up specifically is something that's so obviously indicating that Donald Trump is guilty. Yeah, I'm going to sit here and fucking say it as it is. I'm sick of,
Not
I'm
in
not
New
going to
York
be
at the
here
time.
patient and nice to you when you're going to be a dickhead to E. Jean Carroll. When you're going to be a dickhead to all the victims and survivors that aren't believed in our society because of people like you that are unwilling to believe them, even when they held their abusers accountable in the context of a civil court with an entire unanimous decision of 9 people and a jury. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit, and I'm going to treat you with the same disrespect that you treat victims on a daily basis. Absolutely.
I mean, my ex was raped by her father, and I believed her.
So not a justification for you not to believe E. Jean Carroll. And I don't know why you'd bring up their
It
story
just
when you didn't
seems-
even ask them in the scenario. It's a crazy thing to fucking bring up in a scenario where you probably didn't even clarify with them prior.
She's my ex. She's dead to me.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean you can go in front of 8,500 people and talk about something that they didn't clarify that you could talk about
actually, my
prior.
First Amendment right says I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's okay for you to do it. Obviously, you're still
Okay.
fucked up as an individual. It's your First Amendment right. There's nothing legally wrong with what you did, but there is something morally wrong with what you did.
I lost my morals a long time ago.
Of course you did. That's why you support Trump.
Not really.
So
no.
wait, so
I
by
just-
the way, if you lost your morals a long time ago, I've lost my morals in caring about people like you. Of course I'm going to
Well,
call
I
you
mean-
names like that. Of course I'm going to
Well, then
insult
that's
you.
perfect.
Of course I'm
That's
going to say
your
things
First
like that because
Amendment
you
right.
never gave a fuck about any of the victims that are disenfranchised by the person you
That's
support.
not true
You
at
never
all.
gave
I
a
give
fuck
a
about
fuck
any of
about
these
her-
individuals. And by the way, you said that you gave away your morals. If you don't care about morals, why should I treat you with that same level of decency that I say that I should have to treat other people?
I gave up my morals because of life, which is a different conversation.
So I
and
give up
not
my
important.
morals in treating you right now, specifically in terms of giving you
Well, then
respect,
you're allowed
because you
to do
clearly
that.
don't
No
give a
one's gonna
shit.
harp
You don't
on
give
you
a flying
about
fuck
that.
to give it to anyone else.
And you're allowed to do that. No one's
Yeah,
gonna
and I
harp
just
on you
did it.
about that.
So don't complain.
I'm not complaining, Bubs.
Yes, you were. You just complained. You just complained about me insulting you. I don't want to hear it.
No, I said calm down and hit the anxiety pin is what I said.
That's actually
Because
not what you said. You
your-
were complaining
your
about me
cortisol-
insulting you.
Yeah, your cortisol levels were spiking right there.
Actually, you're cortisol maxing right now, and you're low IQ maxing.
One of those, yeah, but
Yeah, the low IQ maxing.
we know who has the better IQ here.
Obviously not you.
Oh, well, this is awkward.
Wait, you actually think you
No, I'm
legitimately
kidding,
are
I'm
smarter than
kidding,
me?
I'm kidding, Parker, I'm kidding, Parker, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't think you actually think that. Come on.
No, I don't think that, but I do. I'm not. You're gonna think I'm gonna start trolling, but I'm not. But I actually do aura mog you.
How are you aura mogging me?
I mean, bro, you're a freaking. No, we're not gonna get into that.
No, tell me. How do you think I'm aura? How do you think you're aura mogging me?
Because I don't hit the anxiety pin and waste my life away.
That isn't
So that's
okay.
aura
But
right there.
but you waste your life away supporting a rapist. I hit the anxiety pen to be able to deal with you guys to actually advocate for a better country. I care more about our country. I care more about creating better conditions for our country for the people that are going to live here after me. Right?
Yeah,
That's what I care
and
about.
I just feel like at the time, I feel like Trump versus Kamala. I could not vote for Kamala. I could not.
Okay? But you gave no good reason. You just said that you aura mogged me. Like, come on.
Well, and that's hold on.
And also, by the way, how are you going to let someone who's hitting the anxiety pen be more successful than you?
Well, because you do more research and you sit on your ass every day, and I go make money.
Oh, so you make money? So, really, how? How do you make money? By being a plumber?
Yeah, you don't know plumbers?
No, plumbers make lots of money, but like
Exactly, Bubs. I got
Okay.
my fucking my Ram.
So wait.
1500.
If you
I
could
got my
do,
fucking
I have a
house.
question. If you could do
What's
the
up?
job that I do, would you do that?
Fuck no.
No, you wouldn't. Why not?
The mental toll I have to. I'd give someone my address and want to fucking have them show up at my front door and then say it was stand your ground law and fucking do something horrible to them.
Did I just get I got a harassment and bullying. That's great.
Yeah, I told you, Parker. You need to calm down.
Yeah, I do.
You should probably listen to me.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Is that my second one on the restart, everyone? Should I hit a
Yeah,
restart?
but hold on. I don't even think that matters because you were at 5.2 and you're already at 5.8 and you've had 2. So it just seems like people love you. Or they love me. Who knows?
No, they definitely don't love you. They love me.
Oh, well, then they love you, I guess.
Reset? Yeah, we're going to hit a quick restart here on TikTok. You can come back. I'll let you do it.
Oh, my goodness. Another reset. Can people stop reporting his freaking live?
Okay, I'll be right back, everybody. If you're on TikTok, all you have to do is click the profile picture, click it again, and refresh. I'll be back in literally 10 seconds. That's all I have to do. So I'll be right back.